In geology and earth science, a plateau, also called a high plain or tableland, is an area of highland, usually consisting of relatively flat terrain. Formation: plateaus can be formed by a number of processes, including upwelling of volcanic magma, extrusion of lava, and erosion by water and glaciers. Magma rises from the mantle, causing the ground to swell upward. In this way large, flat areas of rock are uplifted. Plateaus can also be built up by lava spreading outward from cracks and weak areas in the crust. Plateaus can also be formed by the erosional processes of glaciers on mountain ranges, leaving them sitting between the mountain ranges. Water can also erode mountains and other landforms down into plateaus. Computer modeling studies suggest that high plateaus may also be partially a result from the feedback between tectonic deformation and dry climatic conditions created at the lee side of growing erosions. Classification: plateaus are classified according to their surrounding environment. Intermontane plateaus are the highest in the world, bordered by mountains. The Tibetan Plateau is one such plateau. Piedmont plateaus are bordered on one side by mountains and on the other by a plain or sea. Continental plateaus are bordered on all sides by the plains or seas, forming away from mountains. Volcanic plateaus are produced by volcanic activity. The Columbia Plateau in the northwestern United States of America is one such plateau. Dissected plateaus are highly eroded plateaus cut by rivers and broken by deep narrow valleys. Major plateaus: the largest and highest plateau in the world is the Tibetan Plateau, called the Roof of the World, which is still being formed by the collisions of the Indo-Australian and Eurasian tectonic plates. The Tibetan Plateau covers approximately 2,500,000 km2, at about 5,000 am above sea level. The plateau is sufficiently high enough to reverse the Hadley cell convection cycles and to drive the monsoons of India towards the south. The second highest plateau is Delasai National Park at an average elevation of 4,114 am and is located in the Skardu district of Gilgit-Baltistan, in northern Pakistan. Delasai means the land of giants. The park protects an area of 3,000 km2. It is known for its rich flora and fauna of the Karakoram West Tibetan Plateau alpine steppe ecoregion. In spring it is covered by sweeps wildflowers and a wide variety of butterflies. The highest point in Delasai is Delasai Lake, or Shiaza Lake from the Shina language meaning blind lake near the Chilim Valley. The lake lies at an elevation of 4,142 am, one of the highest lakes in the world, and is 2.3 km long, 1.8 km wide, and 40 am deep on average. The third largest plateau is the Antarctic Plateau, which covers most of central Antarctica, where there are no known mountains, but rather 3,000 am or more of ice, which very slowly spreads toward the coastline via enormous glaciers. This ice cap is so massive that echolocation sound measurements of the thickness of the ice have shown that large parts of the dry land surface of Antarctica have been pressed below sea level. Thus, if the ice cap was suddenly removed, large areas of Antarctica would be flooded by the oceans. On the other hand, more realistically, were the ice cap to gradually melt away, the surface of the land beneath it would gradually rebound/isostasy away from the center of the Earth, and that land would ultimately rise above sea level. North America: the largest plateau in North America is the Colorado Plateau, which covers about 337,000 km2 in Colorado, Utah, Arizona and New Mexico. In northern Arizona and southern Utah the Colorado Plateau is bisected by the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. How this came to be is that over 10 million years ago, a river was already there, though not necessarily on exactly the same course. Then, subterranean geological forces caused the land in that part of North America to gradually rise by about a centimeter per year for millions of years. An unusual balance occurred. The river that would become the Colorado River was able to erode into the crust of the Earth at a nearly equal rate to the uplift to the plateau. Now, millions of years later, the north rim of the Grand Canyon is at an elevation of about 2,450 am above sea level, and the south rim of the Grand Canyon is about 2,150 am above sea level. At its deepest, the Colorado River is about 1,830 am below the level of the north rim, South America. A tepuy, or tepuy, is a tabletop mountain or mesa found in the Guiana highlands of South America, especially in Venezuela and western Guyana. The word tepuy means house of the gods in the native tongue of the Pemen, the indigenous people who inhabit the Grand Sabana. Tepuy tend to be found as isolated entities rather than in connected ranges, which makes them the host of a unique array of endemic plant and animal species. Some of the most outstanding tepuy are Neblina, Eterna, Oantepuy and Mount Roraima. They are typically composed of sheer blocks of Precambrian quartz-arenite sandstone that rise abruptly from the jungle, giving rise to spectacular natural scenery. Oantepuy is the source of Angel Falls, the world's tallest waterfall. See also, Atherton Tableland, Butte, Chapada, Delasai National Park, Mesa, Oceanic Plateau for submarine or undersea plateau, Potrero, Tepuy, Tua, references. External links, plätoʊ@scienceclarified.com, nationalgeographic.com, travel-university.org, edupacar, britannica.com.